I just think it's to each person and whatever the group thinks. I think our players have a voice. I think we should allow them to have a voice. I already voiced my opinion on that yesterday. But I support what they support. I think we have to let our young people lead us. I think that would be great in whatever they do.
Andrew, go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, Doc, kind of what Ohm said, and we've heard all morning from Celtics and Raptors talking about how some players just want to go home. And we heard last night from PG talking about the difficulty of kind of navigating the last week without family around. I'm just curious, for as good as the job the NBA has done, do you sense that the bubble experience is wearing thin at all on guys?
No, I think it's hard. It's hard on everybody. But it's also, the NBA has done a fantastic job overall. And I think it's different for different people. I talked about it yesterday. We lose that tough game the other night. And a lot of times you go back to your family. But now you go back to your hotel room and what's even more strange is that you get up in the morning and you go eat and you see other players from other teams and they're thinking tough game, it's a different environment for sure. But we knew that coming in. We just didn't know how different it would be. And again, I just keep going back to overall the NBA has done an amazing job. They've provided us with as much as they can, including people to talk to if we need someone to talk to. So I think that's been fantastic.
Thanks, Andrew. Next question, Doc, will come from someone there in Orlando. Kyle?
Hey, some guys like Fred VanVleet and Marcus Smart have said, boycotting is something on their minds. I know what you said yesterday, follow your dreams and sort of disregard the rest. But when you were a player, can you remember anything that you felt passionately about sort of off the court that you thought maybe this is something I might do?
I'm too old. Honestly, I know there are things. I literally can't remember what those things were. And so I don't have an answer for you.
But maybe as a follow-up, what kind of maybe did something happen in your life, or did you get experience that made you kind of go on your present advice where you say, hey, go do what you do?
Yeah, I don't know. I've gone through a lot in my life. I've my history. I don't want to go through it, but I've had some awful things happen to me. And through racism, your house being burned down by skinheads, So I don't know. I just think you grow up through the 60s and the 70s. I think you've gone through it. You've seen it. You've seen a lot. And so I think all that forms what you say and what you do.
Jovan, go ahead. You're next.
Hey, Doc. There's kind of been a zigzag nature to this series where you guys won game 1, they won game 2, on and on. How do you keep that focus and momentum from game 5 to game 6?
Listen, we just got to come out and play well. I thought we had great focus last night. I thought that was the hardest overall team effort that we had last night. We obviously made shots, and it's always a make-miss league to begin with. But when you add that to execution and game planning and following game planning and effort, you have a better chance. And I thought we did all those things.
Doc, we're going to go back to Ohm. Go ahead, Ohm.
Doc, what did you make of Marcus having to defend himself about whether or not he was trying to hurt Doncic? And also, when you sat in your hotel room with PG and just talked about basketball and life, I was wondering how many times have you done that with your players before?
Well, you always do that with your players. I mean, it's part of your job as a coach. And the Marcus thing is absurd. I don't even know why we're actually talking about it other than someone's whoever it is, trying to push some type of narrative. That to me, I was shocked when I didn't hear it until this morning. It's absolutely absurd. Whoever is pushing that.
Thanks, Ohm. Next question. Go ahead, Charlie.
Hey, Doc. Paul spoke to the importance of his teammates helping him get through some tough times. And from afar, watching the game last night, it really seemed like the bench was super engaged, like right from the opening tip. What have you seen from that in terms of together?
Yeah, it's funny. I think both teams, a lot of talking on the floor. I mean, Luka talks as much as anybody on the floor, and so do we. And it's okay with that. I think, I don't know. I think maybe they all talk anyway. With fans, we just maybe never hear them. And I think now with no fans, I think all the teams, you see it every night. I think the players kind of feel like they need to get involved and support their teammates. And you hear it. I mean, every shot you hear something from one bench or the other bench. It is a different thing. Like, you can hear like me complaining or Rick, I can hear every word he's saying. It's a different thing, that part of it. Pretty interesting, actually.
Next question from Tomer. Go ahead, Tomer.
Hey, Doc. Again, on Paul George opening up yesterday, I can't imagine that was easy. And with, I think, the league trying to normalize talking about mental health and depression, how, I guess, detrimental is it for comments from, like, former players saying, keep that shit to yourself?
Well, that's the old school thought. I mean, we also used to foul whenever we wanted to. And if you dunked on someone, you had the right to take them out of the air the next play. So we don't do any of those things anymore. Some of them I wouldn't mind if we could return them. But everyone, I don't mind. Everyone has an opinion. It's okay. Like, you don't have to agree with PG. I think PG's right. And I think the league's right in what they're trying to do. But, everyone's not going to agree with everything. And that's just the way life is. But I wouldn't get all out of sorts about it.
Last one, Doc, from Brian Mahoney. Go ahead, Brian.
Hey, Doc. Hope I'm not repeating anything too much here. Obviously, you've been through a situation before where you had a team who wasn't sure if they should play basketball, given some of the things going on, which we're seeing now. I get a sense some coaches don't really know how much they're supposed to say, whether they're supposed to listen. What's the role of a coach in this situation, and as far as leading versus listening?
I think you do both. I think you give them guidance. I think it's okay with every coach and every player, give them their opinion. And then you come into a team thought. It is different, though, in this case. I would say that the biggest difference is in this one, it's every team that is making the decision. And whatever year that was with us and the Warriors, it was our team. We were the only one that was left with making the decision. So I think at least in this case, it evens the playing field for everyone. I think every team has to decide what they want to do. And honestly, I hope everyone plays. I just think showing the excellence in doing your job, there's nothing wrong with that. But also fighting for what's right is important as well.
Thank you, Doc. Really appreciate your time today.
Thanks.
I'm going to go grab Marcus.
All right. Mark Stein, are you spreading these Luka rumors? That'd be my guess, right?